Hey everyone, this is John from EastCoastArmory.com, and I'm here today with a 1/6 scale action figure repair tutorial video for this 1/6 scale Dragon German action figure. The figure was purchased off of eBay in an as-is state and does have some damage to it, of which I'll go over once I crack open the box, as well as also how to fix it. As for the base figure itself, this is a first generation Dragon action figure. These figures here came out in around 1999 and 2000, and this particular one, which is Klaus, was part of Dragon's first batch of action figures. These figures here were really going to set the stage for the rest of the Dragon figures, which were to be released throughout the years afterwards. As for this particular figure itself, like I said, I purchased it off of eBay in a broken condition. Now, as for the break, I will be going over once I crack open the box. And here you can see the figure with its broken components that need to be repaired. The figure is broken in 3 locations. We have here the chest, the waist, and the lower half of the figure. The part that was broken on this figure here is the center portion, which connects the chest directly to the waist. Now, for everyone who's a fan of the channel, you'll notice that this is not the first time I've done a action figure repair tutorial. The first time I actually did one was a number of years ago, and that video showcased on how to repair the broken hip portion that connects the legs together. That video was very, very popular, and so when I purchased this figure and saw that it was in a broken condition, I figured it was a good opportunity to make another tutorial video just to help out anyone who may encounter something like this on their end. That video, of course, is posted and can be found on the ECA channel. Now, as for this figure repair here, I must point out that unlike the last figure repair tutorial that I did, in which that repair was fairly simple and can be done without a whole lot of tooling, this repair here is going to be a little bit more complicated and require a little bit more skill, as well as also a little bit more tooling, all of which I'll be describing in this video. Alright, now most people will go ahead and try to simply glue the chest to the waist and have the figure in a solid state. This is doable, however, I'm going to go ahead and repair the unit so that it's back to functional capability. Now, unfortunately, I am missing a certain piece off of the chest here, which would come down and connect to that of the waist. From what I've seen, the piece looks to have been some kind of a sphere type shape, and that would allow the piece to pivot and stay in place. Also, what was in the box that was originally part of the figure's waist portion is that of this extension spring. Now, with the original piece missing from this figure here, it's very difficult to piece together exactly how the stock Dragon figure was assembled. However, after doing a little bit of backwards engineering, the figure, I believe, had this type of a format. Of course, this here is the chest, this here would be the waist. Now, the piece has the stem that comes off of the chest directly into the ab area. There is some kind of a sphere object, and then the spring would put pressure upward, which would connect the two pieces together, but with this, since it's round, it would be able to allow the piece to rotate. Now, because the piece is missing, this will have to be re-engineered. Now, in order to also complete the repair, the ab section must be separated from that of the lower portion of the body. On my figure here, the piece simply popped apart, as it doesn't look like there was a whole lot of glue holding these pieces together. Now, if you notice, one of the pegs did break during the extraction. However, the remainder of the pegs are still there, and with one peg broken, I can still be able to conduct the repair fully. This is absolutely crucial because once the figure gets reassembled, you will no longer be able to get the piece to fit inside. In addition to that, the way the lower half connects to the waist is with this small tab that we have here, and this has to slide into this portion here of the ab portion. Now, as for the actual hardware required to do the repair, all of the equipment is strewn out on the table. Starting with, of course, the main spring. This was the dragon piece and is important. You don't want to lose this. Next we have here a 3/32 drill bit, a M3 by 32 millimeter hex bolt, a tap which is threaded for the M3 threads that are found on the fastener, a washer, a matching wrench for that of the fastener, and most importantly, a small sphere object. In addition to that, there's also going to be a bottle of CA, slow cure CA specifically. Now, the reason why I have all this equipment here to do the repair is simply because I am missing the original stem portion of the figure. If the stem was still present, most of this equipment would not be utilized, and to repair it, I would use the technique found in the hip repair tutorial in order to do the same application. However, since the piece is missing, it is going to require the extra bit of equipment that you see here on the table. Starting with the fastener, the use of the fastener is to replace that of the original stem. Now, with the drill bit, I will drill out the center portion here of the stem, which will then be able to be tapped. Once tapped, I could then thread the fastener directly into the chest, and that will become the new stem that holds the sphere. As for the washer is for better contact with the spring, as the head on the fastener is a little bit on the short side, and the spring can possibly pop over the head portion of the fastener. Once the washer is put on, that is no longer going to be the case. Now, the most important portion of this repair has to do with that of the sphere. For the sphere, I'll be utilizing this plastic sphere that I went ahead and had filled in with resin. The sphere was originally a small Christmas ornament, and this piece here I literally just had on hand and was a spare from another project that I actually found on the floor while cleaning up the shop. The reason why it was filled with resin was again for that project. However, even for this repair, the resin still needs to be poured inside in order to make the hollow cavity nice and solid, which will give it a good strong base for that of the drilling, and then of course the pressure being put on for the spring. Now, in case a component like this is not obtained by the person doing the repair, another unit can be used in its place. In craft stores, I've seen small wooden balls like this that are sold in sets, and a wooden unit can also be used in place of the plastic one that I have here. However, for this repair here, the plastic one will be used in place. Now, the techniques for drilling it out and mounting it to the rest of the figure is going to be exactly the same if you're using the wooden one as well. Another tool that's going to be necessary for this repair is that of a Dremel with a high-speed sanding drum. The purpose of this tool here is going to be to first square off this broken section here of plastic. When squared off, it's going to make drilling it a lot more precise and a lot more easily done. Now, the Dremel can also be used for that of the basic drilling, namely that of drilling out the center portion here of the waist, as well as also drilling out the hole required to be needed to be added to the sphere. I will first square off that broken section. Now, the Dremel, you also want to go at very slow speeds. As like I mentioned in the other tutorial video, the faster you go, the more material you will remove, which may make the job a lot more difficult. And there we have the piece now fully flat and ready for drilling. The piece is now ready to be drilled out. Now, with the Dremel, I went ahead and put a bit on it, and I'm going to go ahead and conduct the drilling process. Now, this can also be done on a drill press. However, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to do it freehand. Now, just like with the other times I've mentioned, you want to go very slow with the drill bit, specifically with this application here, because the faster you go, the wider the hole will become, which will be making threading of the hole a lot more difficult when that time comes. Just want to line up, eyeball where the center of the stock is, and simply just drill in. Now, if you notice, I simply just drill in, eat away a little bit of material, and then extract out. This is the best way to prevent plastic from melting around the piece. Do this until you're all the way through. And now the hole has been drilled, and I'm now ready to tap the piece. Now, as for the tap and die and the handle, this was acquired from Micro Fasteners, and the link is found in the video description. As for tapping the part, you simply just thread in, and you go nice and slow. Now, because this is plastic and it's not metal, oil is not going to be necessary in order to fully tap and thread this section here. You just simply twist and then reverse slightly and then twist further. Slow and steady progress will finally thread the entire section of the plastic. And now the threads are done. I could unthread the component, and I'm now ready for the next step. It is now time to drill out the sphere. Now, in case anyone's using the wooden variant, many of the wooden ones found in craft stores are actually beads, and they are pre-drilled. If that's the case, you're basically ahead of the curve. Now, to drill this out, I'll be utilizing an 1/8 of an inch drill bit. The reason for that has to do with the M3 fastener. The shank is slightly smaller than 1/8 of an inch, so if you use an 1/8 of an inch drill bit, the piece will be able to free float inside of the threaded section and will not snag on any of the threads. And here's the sphere now drilled out. As you can see, it simply slides directly over the piece. Now, even though the piece is drilled out and fits onto the fastener very easily, you'll notice that the part with the threads is still very shallow. Now, to ensure a better mounting to the figure, I want to have more meat on the threads. Now, to do that, I need to remove some of the area here on the sphere. Now, this is not necessarily an option that you have to do. This is really more or less something that is an accessory or an add-on. Now, to do this, this can be done in a few different ways. You could either remove some material off of the sphere by either cutting it in half or sanding it in half. You can also, with a Dremel bit, like that high-speed bit that I showcased earlier, you can then remove material from this component. If you're using the wooden one, you can cut it in half with a saw or a Dremel with a cutting stone. Any way possible, just to give a little bit more room. However, like I said before, this is not necessarily 100% required. If you go ahead and use a longer fastener, for instance, say from microfasteners.com, where you get them about 50 or even 60 millimeters in length, this should also be able to make this modification here really unnecessary. Now, for this piece here, I'll be utilizing the drill press with a 3/8 of an inch drill bit. The reason why I'll be utilizing a 3/8 of an inch drill bit, as the spring is slightly smaller than 3/8, and by drilling into the sphere halfway will give me the recess required in order to have the piece nice and halved. Also, by drilling out a section, it does make a nice little cavity for the spring to sit in, and it's just a better engineered piece in my opinion. And here's the sphere with the cavity now drilled in, and when I put the fastener on, you'll notice how much more material I have now exposed. At this point now, I can go ahead and mount it to the figure. And here's the piece now fully installed. Also, interesting to point out that while I was working on it, I noticed that the stem needed to have been removed. Otherwise, there was going to be some more play between the chest and the waist. For this guy here, I went ahead and just simply removed that extra piece of stem. However, if I was doing it again, I would simply just bore out the hole in the sphere a little bit wider, just so it has the extra clearance for that of the piece. With the stem removed, it's not a loss. In fact, now, since everything is threaded, I could still just bolt the piece together. This is where the adhesives come in handy. I'm going to add a drop of glue into here, where the threads are. Let that seep in. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and start bolting the piece on. Now, when it comes to bolting it on, you don't want to have it, I found you don't need to bolt it in all the way, just enough, just so that the abs can fit on. Once the waist fits on, I can go ahead and mount the waist and mount the chest to the rest of the figure. To test fit everything on, I'll take the 2 ab halves, slide it in. If you notice the spring tension is holding the piece in place, that's already a good sign. And the other half should simply just snap right in. Like so. As you can see, the functionality is already returning to the piece. Now, before I go ahead and permanently mount everything together, I want to first fully let the super glue dry that's holding in the fastener. Once it's fully dry, I'll then continue with the rest of the repair. With the adhesives now dry, it's now time to get the figure back together again. Now, like I said before, in order to assemble the abs hold together both the chest as well as the lower half of the body. It's at this point here where the piece will simply get slid back together. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and add any glue to this section here, as from dry fitting the piece, it seems that it holds it in very well with just the use of friction. So I'm going to simply... Oh, and another advantage is that if the piece ever rips out or there's another type of accident, you could easily get access to the component without having to go ahead and break any more little tabs on the guy's chest. So now the guy just slides back in. Abs click back in place, and the figure is now fully repaired. Full motion has been returned, and I can now put the rest of the guy's uniform back on. And here's the figure now fully re-equipped and ready for display in the cabinet. The figure repair was a complete success. As you can see, he has the exact same full range of motion that the figure had once new. Truth be told, I don't exactly deal with a lot of broken action figures, so this was actually the first time I've needed to perform this sort of procedure. Now, this repair was something a little bit different for me compared to my usual type of videos and my usual type of subject matter, as generally I don't really do a whole lot of figure modifications as well as tutorials compared to the other folks on YouTube. Like I said before, this type of a procedure is definitely one that requires a lot more tooling and a lot more patience and experience compared to the last tutorial that I did. However, is definitely one that proves that if you do suffer a break like this figure did here, the figure is far from ruined and can be restored back to its former glory. And with that, that wraps up this 1/6 scale action figure waist repair tutorial video. If you like this video, stop by and like us on Facebook, where there are more photographs of my usual content, which is that of 1/6 scale and smaller military vehicle models. And don't forget to check out eastcoastarmory.com for more 1/6 and 1/16 scale builds and detail components. Thanks for watching.